Hello, everyone. My guest today is Andrew White. He's the founder and CEO of FundApps, a RegTech company which provides compliance monitoring services to investment managers. FundApps currently services 3 of the world's 10 largest hedge funds and monitors over 6 trillion USD of assets every day. FundApps was founded in a spare bedroom above a pub and has never taken a penny of funding. Andrew, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, indeed. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Okay, I love that you're bootstrapped. For those that have not heard of you, what are you doing and how do you make money?
Very simple idea. So we, rather than people that manage your money doing compliance for themselves, they send us the data and we will do compliance for them. So we provide the infrastructure, we provide the technology, but more importantly, we provide the regulatory expertise. So we have a team of legal and compliance people that understand the rules and regulations across the globe, making it easy for fund managers, hedge funds to be compliant with regulations in 95 countries.
Okay, and is this an agency or a SaaS platform?
This is absolute SaaS platform. So we contract with the fund managers. It's a yearly SaaS, agreement. Very simple, very normal.
And what would you say? I'm sure you have a lot of cohorts of customers, but I'm going to force you into an average here. What would you say the average ACV is on one of these customers?
So we started about $100,000 upwards.
Got it. Okay, great. Okay, good. That's helpful to understand. And then help me understand the backstory here. So when did you launch the company? What year?
Launched in 2010, so just had our 8th birthday. Very simple, normal background that I did this before and in a previous lifetime. Kind of thought I could do it better, use the cloud, make it SaaS, whereas my previous company was very much an on-premise play. Let's make it cloud. Let's provide this as a service. Nobody wants, people want a glass of milk, they don't want a cow. So it was very much let's provide the service rather than the infrastructure.
Yep, on-prem to cloud is obviously a healthy trend. What's the team size today? How many people?
We are currently 46 people globally, 42 in the UK, 4 in the US.
Okay, so UK and kind of remote locations, 46. And how many customers have you scaled to today, bootstrapped?
We currently, I think our latest total as of yesterday was 45 clients globally.
Okay, and walk me through. I assume this is a really high touch model, just because it's sensitive data and big contracts. If I'm right, break down your sales team for me.
It is high touch, but not as much as you'd expect. So our sales team is currently your typical, 4 senior salespeople, 2 SDRs, and obviously a marketing team as well. Currently 2 people.
Okay, and is there any kind of customer success team focused on driving expansion revenue and onboarding?
Correct. So we only have 3 services currently, but are increasing hopefully soon to be 4 or 5. But for us, yes, we do have a client success team, very much about getting our large banks who are, not used to the cloud, not used to SaaS. For some of our clients, it's their first SaaS experience. For one of our clients, very first cloud experience. So, trying to get them comfortable with everything, increasing, usage, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
And Andrew, let's dive into that. So I want to dive into pricing here, especially in the RegTech space, right? So if someone signs up on a $100,000 contract for you in year 1, based off the process you run them through, what do they usually expand to by the end of year 2, would you say?
So that's a good question. So we're unusual like that basically our fee is everything. It's the entire shooting match for one service. So we don't typically have an upsell. There isn't the silver, gold, platinum service levels that you might have in your typical Zendesk. So for us, it literally is. It will be an uptick every year based on CPI cost increases, but generally no.
What does that mean? Is that cost per integration?
No. Consumer price index, retail price index, whatever you want to call it, inflation.
Okay.
So for us, once we've sold a client, it's very much pretty much the same level unless we sell them another service, as I said. For 3
well, so why would someone sign up at $100,000 a year versus $1 million a year? What's the difference?
So that's a very good question. That's the big differentiator. So for us, it is very much to do with the complexity of a client. So for example, a really small US hedge fund, maybe $500 million under management, trades in a few countries, has one portfolio, would pay a fraction of what, let's say, a household name like JP Morgan or Citigroup would pay when they trade in 95 countries, have thousands of portfolios, and they manage trillions. So it's very much about the size and complexity of a customer.
Okay, so you do have kind of pricing axes that are around assets under management, number of portfolios, and number of countries you're trading in.
Yeah, and a few more on top, but it is very much trying to calculate how much pain it would cost the customer to do themselves. How many bodies would they have to throw at this? And that is to do with exactly complexities like that.
This is what I'm trying to understand, though. So let's say I sign up today, and I only have $100 million in assets under management, one portfolio, 3 countries. Your tool helps me so much. I triple year over year. So now I'm doing 300, 400 million bucks assets under management, 3 portfolios, maybe 15 countries. Am I still going to pay that same year one price?
Generally, yes. So we try and keep it as simple as that. If you're not really causing us more pain, you're not strapping, making our servers fall over, you're not kind of pushing the client success team, then for us, you're the same type of client. It's very rare that a client would increase size so dramatically that they become a different beast. So for us, what we call organic increase, which as you said would be, going from 100 million to 500 million would be included in the price. Where we would say, okay, you've moved to different category is what we call non-organic growth, i.e. M&A. You purchased one of our other customers, you purchased a prospect of ours, and then we say, okay, you've gone from 200 billion to 500 billion, you're a different organization. So that's when we would trigger a price increase.
So Andrew, is it fair to say then you don't have expansion revenue?
Very little of it, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, interesting. So I imagine then you probably have, of the people you've got, the 46 people, how many of them are sales oriented?
7.
Okay, interesting. And how many of them are like? Yeah, that's pretty low. How many of them are kind of like marketing and onboarding?
Well, they're 2 different teams. Marketing for us is 2. Onboarding is about 6.
Interesting. Okay, and so how do you measure the success of the onboarding team if it's not expansion revenue? I assume it's usage metrics, but what usage metrics?
Yeah, we're kind of an old school business in that respect. Once the customer is using the system and re-signing, then it's a successful customer. We obviously use metrics like Net Promoter Score. We do conferences. It's signing up to things, but generally, RegTech is a very boring area in the respect of it does a job. If it does that job well and it fulfills the purpose, job done, shall we say. Obviously, customer satisfaction and churn ratios are important, but we've only ever lost 1 customer in 8 years of business, and that was a fairly weird scenario. So in that respect, we're sticky.
So when you look at your cohort churn on a revenue basis each year, is that just 100% gross and net?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's interesting. Really interesting. So this market is a small market in terms of just number of logos to go after, I imagine. If you have no way, is that right? 2,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's actually bigger than I thought. Yeah, and you've got 45 now.
It's a long tail, but there's 500 large asset managers. You've got about 1,000 hedge funds. You've got quite a few investment banks, but about 2,000.
Yeah. And then, can I kind of back into math here? You mentioned earlier kind of minimum start is 100,000, ACV and 45. That puts you at about, call it $375K per month. Is that generally directionally correct?
It's quite a bit higher than that. Yeah. We obviously have various types of clients that go quite large as well, but ballpark is not far off.
Do you have 20 million ARR in your sights, or is that like a stretch goal that's still maybe 2 years out?
In dollar terms, it's in our sights. Next.
Do you say that? Do you say that because of the crazy games right now with exchange rates?
Well, exactly. Depending where Brexit goes, etc., that could be a 5-year target. If Brexit goes well, it might be a 1-year target. But next 1 to 5 years, shall we say?
I won't push you harder than this. Have you broken $10 million in ARR?
Very close.
Okay, super close. Very good. Think this year, 30 days left. Come on, Andrew. That's 1 more sale, 2 more sales.
Let me look at the exchange rate and talk to the sales team. But it is a matter of weeks, shall we say?
What do you mean? You don't control the exchange rate?
Unfortunately, not. I can do many things in my life, but not that.
And help me understand growth. If you're kind of pushing 10 million ARR today, where were you a year ago?
Roughly half that.
Oh, wow. So healthy growth. And again, there's very little expansion. So all of this is coming from new user onboarding.
91% new revenue. We upsold 2 clients.
Say that one more time.
So it's 91% new client base, but 2 of our existing clients subscribed to our second product.
Oh, so there was 8% expansion there.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I wouldn't consider that no expansion revenue. There are some people that would kill for that kind of expansion revenue. You said they subscribe to a second product.
Yeah, it's just for us. It's like it is very clearly it's a new logo play rather than expansion. But as we want to do both axes, the vertical and horizontal. At the moment it's been very much about getting more logos, but as we grow, it's about providing more services to the existing clients, which is the typical nice thing in B2B, that our existing clients are very happy. They respect us. They like our service. So when we say, hey, would you like to subscribe to this service? And if it's of use, they'll generally say yes.
Yeah, that's great. I want to get it in your head in terms of aggressiveness here for a second. You mentioned there's 2,000. You think in the market you're at 45 today. If someone's going to sign up for a $100,000 contract with you in year one, how aggressive are you willing to be in terms of your fully weighted CAC?
We're very much, hence being bootstrapped, pretty serious about our pricing, that it's fair, transparent, and there isn't a lot of air in there. There isn't a lot of room for discounts. So we're pretty strict with pricing. That's what it is. We've calculated what the value is. We understand the market very well. As you said, it's a smallish market. So it's very much that's what it does. It's as we say in England, Ron Seal. It does what it says in the tin. There's not much to debate about.
Sorry, Andrew. Just to be clear, it's not about pricing. It's about like you're spending money on conferences, on salesperson's commissions, on travel. Like what you spend to get a new customer.
Yeah, sorry. Well, it's similar enough. The answer that we traditionally haven't done much conferences. We traditionally haven't done much marketing. Obviously, SEO, things like that. But as you said, it's a smallish target market. They all talk to each other. They all know each other. It's a small space, RegTech. So if people have a problem, they'll generally find out about us. So we're not having to chase contacts.
But you've got about 10 people across your sales people, plus 2 or 3 on your marketing team, plus kind of customer success and onboarding. Those obviously go into fully weighted CAC. So again, sample scenario, they're about to close a $100,000 contract. Are you willing to spend kind of 20 grand fully weighted to get that contract, or 100 grand, or what?
No, it'll be a lot less than that.
Less than 20 grand. Okay, so your payback period is what, less than 3 months?
Good question. Probably, yeah.
You're okay. Not something you track.
That's not metrics we measure. It's been an interesting kind of experiment with marketing and sales. But
I'm surprised, by the way, you don't measure that. A bootstrapped company. I mean, you do everything you can to pull as much cash forward, but you've got a sales team, so you're paying commissions.
Yeah, paying commissions, but as I said, 90% of sales have been inbound over the last few years.
You still pay commission on inbound leads, right?
True.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to make this up. I don't want you to disclose this, but let's say you're paying 10% commissions on a $100,000 contract, fully weighted CAC. There's 10 grand. You pay the commission all up front, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Very cool. Where's future growth going to come from? Adding new logos or adding new product lines? And again, you had 2 people, cross-sell. You're going to do more cross-selling.
Yeah. Both. I would think that the next few years are very much still new logos. As of this year, we've kind of really invested in the product team, trying to expand on our services, general kind of, seeing what the market's doing. Regulation is, despite its reputation, quite fun because there's always something new. There's never a boring moment in regulation. There's always somebody coming up with something new. So there's quite a few things coming down the pipeline where we believe we can provide a service to the market. So, as I said, mainly new logos, but in the coming years also is trying to deepen the revenue per client as well.
Are you right now any plans to raise capital?
No plans to raise capital. We're very profitable at the moment. Our revenue curve is increasing faster than our cost curve. So in that respect, I don't see a need for it. Plans for next year, we're opening an APAC office. That will be funded without problem. So,
are you talking with anyone right now about being acquired?
No. Lots of people are trying to ping me, but I'm not interested.
That's great. Not even a half smile when I ask. That's pretty good, Andrew. You've practiced this in the mirror a few times, huh?
Yeah, indeed.
All right. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Good Lord. How to Win Friends and Influence People, I believe.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I do admire Bezos.
Yeah. Number 3, what billing tool do you guys use?
What tool, sorry?
What billing tool do you use?
0.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Pretty much 8.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, no kids.
No kiddos. And how old are you?
I am 45, but I don't look it. Thanks.
No, you look way 34 years young. Last question, Andrew. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I was pretty good at it, but I think the number one lesson in business is learn how to say no more often.
Learn how to say no. There you guys have it again. Launched his company FundApps after doing kind of an on-prem version of it and realizing people wanted the milk, not the cow. Today they're serving 45 clients, managing, again, big portfolios, hundreds of millions in assets under management across many, many different countries, breaking and getting really close to about a $10 million run rate. That's up from about $5 million in ARR just a year ago. So healthy growth. And I love this, all bootstrapped with this team of about 46 people in UK and other remote locations, 100% net revenue retention, not really an upsell machine or expansion machine at this point, really just focused on adding new customer logos. He thinks there's about 2,000 customers out there that are perfect for him. Andrew, thanks for taking us to the top.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.